but it's very difficult to drone it out because the rotates you take in that map are very fast, right?
All right, well, let's have a quick look and find out, because game number 1 is underway. There are our first 10 operators for, of course, both attack and defensive teams. ENCE kicking us off on defense then with a Smoke, Pulse, Mirror, Ella, and Bandit. We'll talk about the Ella changes in just a moment. And attack is, of course, Hibana, Twitch, a Thermite, Thatcher, and Buck. Of course, Twitch and Thatcher, not so commonly you see those two together in the old days because they do a very similar job, but now because of that potential Capcam threat, do you think that's maybe the reason that Renewals is running a similar? I
think actually on the attacking side, this is a very standard attack setup on Clubhouse, because you're gonna want your Buck to open up the hallway.
Yep.
Cut off the rotations in the lower hallway. Twitch most likely to open up many mirror windows, take the possible Valkyrie cams, just the normal site cams for that matter. And then, of course, the traps before you go in.
Yeah, just scan
most likely going to try and see them with the setup that you have here. That looks like either a straight-up tunnel take, or maybe go for a church wall open.
All right, it's another interesting thing. Of course, we said the Ella changes came on through in this patch with the Capcom mix-ups, with the changes to Blitz as well, but hers not as influential perhaps as some of the others. She lost one trap, yes, and she gained a bit of recoil on her SMG, but still a very, very strong operator. We saw there on the defense setup, Bunsi supporting in that construction tunnel reinforcement, watching through that drone hole, making sure the Twitch drone couldn't do anything to stop those reinforcements. That's a very standard play now as well for teams, holding the defense down and keeping them off that back tunnel. If you can get the Twitch drone to spawn there or get it fast enough, you can chunk a player down, in some cases completely kill them while they're reinforcing those two walls if they're not doing it smart. So had that second player in there to help him out. As a first kill comes through from Junus, who was very aggressively down that front staircase, and he managed to pick off Shatter. They're up against the church wall already now with a thermite charge, breaching that on open next to one of the mirror windows, and these attacking team here from BK is watching is very, very aggressive.
Picking off Shatter this early in the round is huge. It's one of their most clutch players.
Yeah, he's a stand-up guy that has on many an occasion come out of nowhere and picked up 3-4 kills to save a round in a very tight pinch, but he's now off the table. Still a minute and a half to go though, and you see a lot of this basement is already in control of BK is watching. Flashbang is going through, making sure there's lack of trophy systems, the wall's open. Oh, sorry, the thermite charge did get battery tricked out by Fenari on the other side, but he's still pinned down as that mirror window has been opened up. Buck upstairs, secretly opening things down. Bunsi, though, gets the first kill for the defending team as Fabian falls. They do lose out on their Thatcher, but his job was done. Now the battery is thought about, but doesn't actually get placed here. Pengu still looking through that hole in the wall that's just been made larger by those Hibana charges, but still can't see any of the defenders inside. Bunsi with this very long-range angle from blue in towards that corridor is the one to pick up the first kill. Sees Pengu but can't land the shot. Hidden in the corner, Bandit goes for a bit of pre-fire as that drone comes in. He's looking for Eunice in the corridor. Pengu dances across the gap and gets the kill successfully. Despite a small flashbang going off to hit that Twitch, Pengu comes out on top. 35 seconds to go now. Twix on that body. Kanto peeks around only for half a second. Bunsi will drop to Secretly, who's pushing down through the blue tunnel now. Kanto's in there and does rattle some shots off the woodwork, but it's not going to get the kill. Down Secretly. Eunice is planting inside the church now. Still plenty of ammo on that gun, but he's going to go for a reload. Wilkie and Kanto now looking for a twofer. Kanto gets one, Wilkie gets the other, but Kanto's immediately traded out by Renewals, and Eunice finishes off Wilkie to round out round one. Ooh. It's been a long time since I've done that. So, a very quick start to that attack from BK is watching. They got downstairs, got that first kill with a minute 45, minute 50 still on the clock. Then it stalled out until about 30 seconds to go. But they managed to get through and get some of those trades off to keep that numbers advantage.
And having that mirror window open that early might both have helped them and fought a little bit against them, because they were most likely going to try and thermite open the wall. But with a Bandit, a mirror window there, it's not worth the risk. And the soft wall and armory being open, you would get shot in seconds if you tried to place that.
Yeah, we did see Thermite give it a quick try briefly, but the charge was very quickly batteried off, and that was the end of his attempts on there. But then they did have the mirror window opened up at the same post, so they still got an angle through there, just with a little bit of help from the defending team. Now, BK is watching on to defense themselves. They've got a slightly different setup of operators. They've got Ella in the mix, they've got Smoke in the mix, they've got Bandit in there, but then they've got Jaeger and Legion. So I'm interested to see where Eunice is going to play that new operator.
Yeah, the Legion placements are going to be pretty much what makes them work. You,
10 seconds remaining.
I don't think it's going to help if you just place them, you know, on site, because on Clubhouse you don't want them to get on site.
No, and you can see that from the setup and the defense here, is they are playing heavily to not let them near sight. A lot of reinforcements being placed up in and around the bar, the trapdoor and bar being preemptively opened as a fallback route for the BK's watching squad. And they're going to put a lot of pressure onto their team for holding upstairs with what seems to now just be Pengu alone in the basement.
And generally playing basement sites where there is no damage being done from below and up, playing anything on site or allowing for retakes is generally too hard.
Now that the drones are coming in and ENCE have spotted out these aggressive defensive positions, they're having to rethink their attack slightly. Nari looking to edge in through this side door first, and we'll open up that first trap heading down towards blue.
This might be a mistake because they're in theory opening up a secondary rotate now for the defenders to go down.
Yeah, if they do not hold that trapdoor themselves firmly without controlling this bar, those defenders could easily drop down and flank them for it, depending on where this push comes from. A lot of focus from Renewals and Secretly at the moment is towards the strip club door, but most of that's just towards drones that are coming in. Seat drops down in towards the blue tunnel. He feels a bit more confident with this because they have that hatch open, but still going to drone down and make sure it's no surprises waiting for him at the other end. Still, Pengu downstairs, Renewals and Secretly have dropped to join it now. Fabian came down the main staircase, so it's back down to a 4-man basement hold from BK is watching. They've wasted half of the round just by sitting in that bar and killing off a couple of drones, and they seem to be content with that success. Eunice is the last man left up there. He does just get droned out, but I think they pretend, yes, nice play from Chatty. He pretended to not see him, so he's going to go with a grenade through the doorway. Does get a quick kill onto Eunice. Smartly done by him, but they're still down to a minute 13. Drops coming in through blue. Pengu and Secretly pick up 1 kill each. Wilkie and Panari get a trade on each one, but are quickly traded back by Pengu and Renewals. And it's down to just Chatty, who's finished off by Renewals again, as a second round is quickly swept up by BK is watching. What a pixel.
This shows the change in meta of how you basically have to play basement aggressive now.
Yeah.
On defense.
We saw what happened when ENCE didn't play it aggressive. They lost control of the upstairs so fast. They had then their basement pressured in a minute and 50 still on the clock. And you see the complete opposite when BK is watching play aggressively. They stick their players upstairs. They reinforce upstairs. They barbed wire. They use their Legion traps. And they control that upper floor. Despite losing the first player of the round, it still took 2 minutes for that to happen. And when the basement push finally came in, there was no time left to gather more information from ENCE. There was no time left to figure out where their defenders were sitting. And they just dropped straight into the fire and were easily cleaned up and mopped up within that blue tunnel area.
With the main hallway and the blue tunnel being so easy to gain control of once you have top floor cleared as attack, it makes movement and rotation on site almost impossible. It's just not worth it to change from armory to church unless you have to. That makes a defense setup a lot harder if you're trying to turtle out.
So the attack setup here from BK's watching is the same 5 operators. Why change it? It worked very well from them before. The defense setup has switched in Capcan now though. So Wilkie was running around upstairs, spotted by a couple of drones and was doing the reinforcements. Didn't see him put down too many traps, but we'll see if and where any of them come into play later on. He does drop 1 down at the bottom of that main staircase. He had already placed 1 upstairs somewhere. I'd imagine somewhere around the kitchen door perhaps. Couple here now around the motor drop. Not the most surprising of placements, to be fair. Yes, these are pretty standard doorways, pretty expected positions, but they're doorways in positions that tend not to get pressured until the final few seconds of the round. We saw them get pressured in the last round after that 30-second mark. And that point in the game is when that extra 60 damage can really swing a firefight one way or another.
Definitely. Especially combined with something like smoke. Or you being L-mined and you have to push.
So we'll see whether or not those Capcan traps really make a difference. It is interesting to see them used like that, despite the fact that a lot of the strength people were scared of, oh, he's 2-speed now, he can go anywhere, he can put them anywhere on the map and surprise people, but they are still very, very useful in these very last-second clutch positions at the edges of the bomb sites. So we'll see whether or not that swings against BK's watching. Pengu's got down the front staircase already very early, but this time he is alone. He is already
in 1 Capcan trap.
Capcan trap, indeed. I was trying to figure out where that damage came from, but yes, it's this doorway. He ate that Capcan trap right there. And he was tagged by Shate just with a couple of bullets too. Panari is going to get that charge easily down. They did try and bait it out with Hibana charges, and it will work out. He's going to get the second Hibana charges that are on the window, but he does miss that thermite charge, so they do get the wall open. However, they have lost a player to a C4, but Renewals trades it back by getting Boonsey from this tunnel. He can't get in there. That prone hole's not in the right spot. So he's stuck outside that construction tunnel. That could be a big respite here for ENCE.
Oh, ENCE might not know this.
They may not know this, so they may have to keep an eye on the tunnel without actually realizing. Oh, Pengu pre-fired through that angle to try and get in towards the back of Armory, and there was Shatter's head conveniently peeking up from inside Church. So nicely done for him, but Panari is still against that wall and does manage to get the diffuser dropped right inside the angle. Renewals has come to join him in here. Pengu, they know he's in there as well because he picked up that kill onto Shatte. He's up on the box and he was low already, so he has to get traded out. The quick trade back in from Renewals is there, but the shots from range at Kanto cannot finish him off. He's going to go and try for the plant with 35 seconds to go. Wilkie is alive and healthy. Kanto is there too. Trying to spray through, but it can't land it. Eunice is in the corridor, and he was trying to go up the flank, but now it's a little bit too late. Dipped back the other way, and his backside is just hidden from Eunice, who did manage to get down Kanto. As the Claymore goes down, Wilkie finishes off Renewals, and now it's a 1v1. Eunice in that corridor. Wilkie doesn't know exactly where he is. He's pre-firing a couple of angles, a couple of spots, trying to draw out Eunice's position. With every shot he takes, it lets Eunice know exactly where he's coming from. Listening, waiting for the noises, hearing for the diffuse. He's got that sound in his favor. Waits for just long enough to secure an easy kill onto Wilkie, who thought he had it in the bag. But it's another round and a 3-0 lead for BK is watching.
And very disciplined play from Junas there.
Yeah.
Not doubting himself for a second and just letting the round play out.
The presence of mind to just hold firm on that corner, trust the drones they had inside. There was a mark that went off at one point as well. Listening to the sound, trusting the audio cues for when Wilkie was on that diffuser. Made the perfect play. And now we see a slight change, because BK is watching, having won their defense of the basement, has to go upstairs. But they won their defense of the basement by playing upstairs in a large factor of their gameplay. So we'll see if and what their defense changes to work with it. And so far, it's just a rook in place of Ella. Every other operator stays the same, and that goes back to a lot of area denial. Smoke and Legion controls a lot of space between them.
I think they're expecting a very heavy B push. Read into this lineup, they have a rook to not build grenades. They got their Jaeger to stop grenades, and they got their Legion to most likely main Montaigne.
Yeah.
If Montaigne steps on a Legion mine, he has to fully back out, unextend his shield to pull it out, or he will die. It is probably one of the strongest counters to Montaigne.
Am I right in saying when he steps on it while extended, it also de-extends him for a second?
No, that is only the elements.
That's only the element. All right, so he does stay fully extended while that happens, but yes, you say he then has to back away. At the moment, though, Eunice is out in the strip club, looking for those early peaks towards the main entrance spawns. No one's stepping into his crosshairs yet, but Kanto is close, and if he's not aware, he just could grab an early kill. Steps forward, but he is safe and away from Eunice's angle here by quite a distance, staying around with the rest of the team, who, as you predicted, are pushing heavily towards the B site. Pengu at this door is taking a little bit of damage, but is waiting for the wall to get opened up while the trophy system is placed in there for him. Pre-fire comes through, just Pengu moves away, and now Monty is in that doorway. Now, I didn't see Eunice plant any Legion mines here during the prep phase, and now he's dead, so he can't place any more as Kanto gets in while rappelling on top of the garage. A little bit of a misplay then from Eunice. He held that angle for so long, he was there for quite a while, and yeah, is not happy with how that shot went. He must have had all the time in the world to land that fire onto the repelling player, but smart play from the smoke here from Pengu. He pushed one behind Boonsey, so he couldn't go backwards, then landed one at his feet, so he has to come forward. He has done a lot of damage to him here, but Boonsey's managed to avoid the smoke at the moment, and as Pengu is the only man here, he hasn't got the crossfire to really punish him, and now all 3 smoke grenades are gone. Fire has been used from the attacking team, but I don't see where it went. Just hear it, maybe been upstairs. Shatte, though, gets Pengu as he tries to peek around the shield, and that will be the opportunity for a plant here from ENCE. Trying to use it behind the shield, and they do get the shots from above. Now Kanto firing down onto that Jaeger, who he tries to dance around the shield again. Shatte does finish secretly off as Renewals tries to come outside, but Panari is there waiting for him. And now Fabian is alone against 4 members of ENCE. He went upstairs and picked off that player, but the plant is going down. He gets tagged by Wilkie over from construction. Peeks out to it, does down Wilkie. Now he has the shield to play with, and 2 players out behind it. Shatte is low. Panari has got a fair bit of health. We'll get the kill, get better stats for his numbers. and now looks to push towards the diffuser itself. Slowly edging forward, trying to keep as quiet as possible. Surprises he comes out, tries to dance around the shield, does get shot by Shatter all the same, and it is going to finally be a round on the board for ENCE.
Really impressive play by Bouncy and Monty, though.
Yes.
Being able to burn 2 smoke grenades like that.
Bundle 3 smoke grenades like that too. And stayed alive and healthy for it, kept his team in the play, stayed static and allowed his team to get those kills around him without the too much team damage going on, without the real punishment that Penta were trying to lay onto it. But I can't help but feel a lot of that was facilitated by the very early kill on Legion. Yeah. If Legion was there to back up that smoke and support that doorway hold, Monty wouldn't have had that much freedom to run around like that. No, and I mean, you can throw your Legion mines actively. You can use them. You throw one, you let him stand in it, he backs away to pull it out, and while he's doing that, you throw a second one. And they basically activate, like if you throw them directly at Monty's shield, they're going to fall to his feet, and they're going to activate the second they open up. There is not much he can do about it. So, even though BK is watching, you said from their operator selections, felt like they predicted that B push, felt like they predicted that heavy B play, they were ready for it. They weren't. They did not have the coordination, did not have the positioning, at least when the push arrived, to really punish it. And ENCE got all the positions they wanted, they got all the spots they wanted, and were able to punish the BK squad in their defense. Now though, it's ENCE's turn to try and defend this basement again. They failed at this twice now, and they've gone back from the Capcan to Mira once again. Wilkie charging back and forth. He is upstairs doing these reinforcements for now, and then we'll head on down. They've had a real issue holding that wall by the main stairs, holding that church wall with the Hibana and Thermite both pressuring onto it. See whether or not they have a better time this time. They've had a couple of attempts at it. We have seen some of them get battery tricked. We've seen some of the charges get denied, but so far unsuccessfully holding the entire wall. I would like to see them start challenging the main stairs a bit more. With, for example, Ella. Because so far they've been letting them down to the main stairs with no fight at all. And then they try and hold the whole thing from sight, but that means they never have a place to fall back to. So they gotta stand their ground and fight. They don't have any leeway in any direction. They're doing it again at the moment. Wilkie is playing underneath the kitchen, and he has got a couple of holes for him. Bunsy's still watching for some drones inside the construction tunnel, which, well, no one is there at the moment, but he's still holding firm. Trap doors are opened up inside bar, and Eunice is now beginning to pressure onto the church wall. He's got that Hibana charge in hand. He's got 2 of them left as Thermite once again drops through the bar hatch. Can be seen now by Penari. Refiring a couple of corners. There's the Twitch drone distracted and opened up the mirror window. The shots come in from Hibana spraying on towards her own charges through the mirror window. But Thermite still dancing around inside that Moto drop, gets punished this time by Shate, who was there to shoot Pengu in the back before he got up on those boxes. So Penari no longer has to worry about Thermite himself and just play around the Hibana charges. Claimer at the top of that ladder that Kanto can do nothing about, so the flank gets cancelled. Now the drop into Moto from second player goes through. Secretly still here in the corridor above, making holds in towards B, pressuring onto Wilkie. Bunsy's come out of the tunnel now as the pressure starts to rise up on the wall again. A good shot from Fabian will take Penari's head off while he's trying to battery check. Kanto now inside blue, minutes away as Shate peeks around but loses out to Fabian, and the shots rattle over Fabian's head from Kanto in blue. The trade kill not there. Once again, the defending ENCE squad now is in the man disadvantage. Another drop coming into Moto means all the players from BK are on the bottom floor as Secretly gets another kill onto Kanto. Eunice in that front corridor now has Mirror spraying up towards him. He has just got to hold it. Inside the church will soon be under BK's control. We'll keep looking to get in towards blue, but the push is coming down from that corridor by Buck, and he lands the kill at range. Secretly, with that last second rotate around, means they now have full church control, and Bunsy's in a 1v3. 35 seconds to go, and the diffuser's already going to get planted. He gets a great kill on Secretly into blue already. Now has a mirror window to play with and look towards church. Fabian's got the diffuser down in straight there, but Eunice right at the bottom of that corridor, still holding firm, has a great angle and an ACOG, and it's an easy kill to take Bunsy's head off. Done. 4 rounds to 1. This ENCE basement defense, I mean, there isn't one. No. They cannot hold against this push. BK is watching, he's using more or less the same thing every time they've come down here now, and it's not working out. You see smoke being left in a 1v, what was that, 1v4? 1v4, yeah. With 3 smokes left? Yeah. They could definitely have been used earlier in the round to help out a bit. Given how much play goes around that church wall and that Moto drop, smoke charge in there can really hurt that attack. Yes, it's a challenge to place it in there. Yes, you got to pre-make some holes or be very cautious with your placement. But considering he's playing around the B armory, he's playing around the construction tunnel, the wall is soft inside and underneath kitchen. They don't open the hatch in kitchen. They just have Buck upstairs making holes. You've already got Mirror playing in there. Why not have Mirror watching through and above, Smoke play in there with you, and just throw them up and over a high hole into that corridor? Okay, it may not be the be-all and end-all save, but right now nothing else they're doing is working, and the smoke charges can really hurt 3 or 4 players in there.
They had a perfect opportunity to flank actually in the last round. If they could just afford 1 impact nade or 1 C4. Or even a dock overheal. I know they didn't have a dock, but any way of getting up through that garage, get that Claymore away, no matter where the Claymore is placed up there, you'll always be able to impact it. It's just a very difficult lineup.
Yeah. And yeah, Kanto had the idea. He wanted to think about it. He tried to line himself up, but it wasn't going to work.
Then realized he had wire.
Yeah. Now, though, it's time for a basement defense again from BK's watching. They have once again heavily defended the upper floor, the bar area. They've got a lot of players up here and a lot of Ella traps up here, and are waiting for the push to come through. ENCE once again holding very aggressively, peeking out this window. No one coming too fast towards it this time, though, so he falls back a bit more. Not going to go for these crazy outside peeks. Does look like BK's watching are ready to end this game right here now. Pengu once again alone down on the basement floor for now, watching that construction tunnel. Nothing too much to worry about. Waiting for the rest of his team to come down and join him when they're ready. They wait to 1.5 minutes last time.
They are taking quite a chance here, though.
They are.
Because that fast push through tunnel and getting the pick off on smoke would be an instant win.
It would be, but ENCE has got the first pick onto Shatter here, who is firing in through from construction. He will then trade back down as Kanto pushes in from the small stock window room. They do go 1 for 1, but it's still 2 minutes on the clock. The rest of the players are back inside bar now, but look how slowly ENCE are pushing forward. Even with that 1 kill, even with that slight advantage taking away Legion, they are not confident getting into the rest of the map. Their drones couldn't get past him. Their drones don't know what's waiting on the other side of the bar. Now, from their knowledge of the previous defense, they know there's going to be more than just him up here. But they aren't sure whether they've dropped already yet or if they're holding firm. And now last time they attacked this, they had gone down. Secretly, they're staying up now. Fabian is going down that main staircase. They finally open this construction tunnel, but that's, again, very late in the round. Down in the blue tunnel now, Bunsi is beginning to push on this way and just EMP down and look for anyone holding in there. He has a pre-placed drone, which is helping. He now knows it's empty. Minute to go. 3 players from BK watching down on that bottom floor now. Secretly still holding firm behind that bar. Default camera gets taken out. Panari looking to edge on round. Secretly keeps his head low for now, waiting for an opportunity to step on up, and there it is. But Kanto takes him off. Secretly will fall, and at 50 seconds on the clock, it's finally looking good for ENCE attacking this basement. Kanto doesn't have a lot of health with this, though, and they don't have a lot of time to find these 3 players down here as the smoke grenades start to come out, and that's the diffuser locked inside the construction tunnel. Even if the other 3 can get into the site now, if he cannot get that plant down, they have to go for kills. 2 players above kitchen now, dropping into blue. Fabian immediately kills off Panari, meaning it's a 3v3. Kanto was reset, so he's back up to full health as Wilkie is taking damage from these smoke grenades. Pengu takes out Kanto now as well, so the reset is useless. Bunsi being pushed on the reload, into kill for Fabian. Wilkie is alone in that tunnel, and as he tries to come out, it's an easy clean. He does take Fabian down with him, but Pengu was there, and just like that, 5 rounds to 1. PK is watching, make it look easy.
This was a very one-sided game.
Yeah, that was effortless. Honestly, not even remotely what I expected.
No.
We thought that was going to be our closest game of the night. We thought that was going to be a tight one back and forth, but BK's watching, despite being a mixed squad of 2 very high-level Pro League teams, had